Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I changed some settings on my microphone. I had to turn it down a little bit. That's the reason why it was clipping and crackling. So, can everybody hear me okay? Hey, Maureen. Hey, Brian. Cool. I may have to talk a little bit louder. Uh, I had to turn the mic gain down a little bit. Now, let's see here. I could probably turn it up a little bit. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. That might work. Hey, Darren. Hey, Judge. Hey, kind of waiting on some model updates. Let me go ahead and show you this thing. There you can see it, my monitor wall. It's a bit of a mess, but it is a tropical storm named Barry. P.S. Barry for short. Hurricane Nate. Yeah, yeah, he had Nate. I think that one got retired. So, gonna wait and see if we get a few more in here. I'm only showing 17 between Twitch and YouTube. And I know Nathan's streaming, so. Let's pop over to. Let me go to scene here. This is the latest from the National Hurricane Center. And as you can see, there's a little yellow X down here. It's only got 10% of turning into something. That's just off the west coast of Africa. So we might have another one. And then up here is where I'm at. I mean, tropical storm. Go ahead and look at the forecast cone. Now they changed it quite a bit. As you can see, pretty much covers Louisiana and the western part of Mississippi. Now the black line, that's the center of the cone. And like I was saying yesterday, hang on folks. Yeah, on that radar screen that you got, you doing a display capture or window capture? Yeah, I tried that and I had trouble with it. Sometimes it would disappear, sometimes it'd be the wrong radar, and I ended up doing a window capture and it's been working fine. Copy that. I'll get back with you in a few minutes. There was a intermediate update. The only thing that they changed is they brought the millibars up to 1,006, so it went up by one. Nothing else changed. So, folks, I was just letting Nathan know, and you probably heard an echo because I'm watching his stream on a separate computer. Hey, Sparrow. So anyway, let's get right to it. And this dark pink, I do believe, okay, that's a storm surge warning. I'm going to have to turn his volume down. I hear it echoing over my headphones. There. And the light pink is a storm surge watch. But they do already have a, I believe it's either tropical storm warning or a hurricane warning. I do believe they upgraded that to hurricane warning. But like I was saying yesterday, the center can go anywhere in this cone. So if this thing gets to be, let's say, 100 miles wide, 50 miles from center, it's still going to affect, way over in Mississippi and clear over into Texas, most likely, depending on how it goes within that cone. Right now, as you can see on the top of the screen, winds are 40 mile per hour. Pressure is at 1,006 millibars. And it's moving west at 5 miles per hour. So it's still crawling. But let me switch over here and show you something. You can see how it's not well formed. And you can see where the center is. Right the center of that swirl. And let me stop this, get to the latest frame. That center's about right there. I'll go ahead and put it back in motion. Center of it's about 90 miles southeast of the bay there at Mississippi River. Now I'll go ahead and take a look at the infrared. It'll take a little bit to load all the frames up. This is the clean infrared look. Let me zoom out. You can see how those outer bands are really pushing out. And over here to the west side, that's some really cold, high top storms right there. Let me go ahead and freeze this on the latest scan, and I can turn the radar on. Turn the satellite off. You can see how the storms are starting to swirl around it. That's a good thing for a formation. Again, the low's about right there. That's about where the center of it is. I haven't received the latest information from the hurricane hunters yet. Hey, Rick. So far, this named storm of Barry is starting to be just like me. Just an old weak part. Now let's go ahead and look at the model. The models are really getting a lot closer together. This is the GFS, and I'm able to zoom in on it. I can't do that with a Euro, but I'll jump ahead and watch this thing meander around. And that's where the GFS has been pretty good all along. ACC. But it kind of meanders around. But there you can see how it's starting to get stronger on the south side of it, and then it'll start wrapping around. Right there is about landfall. That's 12Z. That'll be 7 o'clock Saturday morning. That's what it's looking like so far. According to the GFS. And right now, National Hurricane Center does have it making landfall at a Cat 1, but it's going to be a real strong one. Projection is 92 mile per hour winds. 96 mile per hour winds is Cat 2. So it could possibly go low end Cat 2. But so far it's looking like it's going to be high end Cat 1. Now we'll go ahead and take a look at the Euro. Now just like yesterday, watch this red L down in the bottom right. Now it has it real close to landfall, just about the same time. But the center, you can see how she wraps around and comes up towards me here in Ohio. All the models so far are saying the same thing. I want to freeze it right there. That's Saturday at 7 a.m. at 995 millibars is what the Euro is saying. Now notice that it's more in the center. It's between Lake Charles, which is right there, and New Orleans, which is on the other side. Now the GFS had it going more towards New Orleans as far as the center goes. Yeah. No, I don't think it's going to come clear to Wisconsin. But I tell you what, several of the models has it coming up here at Cincinnati as a depression. So we could end up getting a lot of rain and some winds out of it too. We're about in Indiana. By Muncie, you're not all that far. I'm about half an hour or so south of Richmond, over on the Ohio side. Barely. I could throw a rock and hit it, Indiana. Excuse me. I used to drag race there in Muncie. Nice track. Yeah, Rick on YouTube. Yeah, we might. Well, you're down there by Lexington, but yeah, we're going to get some effects off of it. My forecast has got thunderstorms starting Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Of course, it's going to depend, the speed of this thing. Yeah, I used to race there. Had a black 78 Pinto with 1,000 horse motor in it. Yeah, I had a big old blower sticking up out of it. 351 Cleveland. Had to put wheelie bars. Now there is some wind shear on this thing, and I think that's one thing that's holding it back. Uh, if it would have built up a lot stronger, this wind shear, which is not real strong, but it wouldn't have bothered it. But since it never got as strong as we thought, and it's kind of hanging around in shallower waters, if it would have went further to the south, then it would have got stronger quicker. Yeah, it's hotter than bejeebas here. I'm showing around 90, but the heat index is way up there. It's real humid. Been that way for a couple of weeks. And let's take a look at arrival times. I didn't go outside yesterday in the afternoon. I walked out to the mailbox. I thought I was going to die before I got back in the house. But this is the tropical force winds, and you can see it's going to be hitting New Orleans starting about 2 o'clock Friday morning, tomorrow morning. That'll be the leading edge of it. Daggone it. Got a frog in my throat. Yeah, I haven't looked at the future temperature forecast for us, Rick. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to it either. Let's see, what else do you want to look at? Okay, here's the forecasted rainfall. You can see that dark pink. Yeah, Rick, Nathan's live streaming. He's on his way. He's driving down. Jennifer is going down. He was going to pick up Sarah Paget over there close to uh, Pensacola, but I think that plan got changed. And I'm still not sure if Mel's going or not. last I heard, no. But Jen's going to meet up with Nathan. Kyle Bowers said he was going to be down there too. But as far as the rainfall that they're expecting, there's some areas here where that darker pink is. Could be 18 to 24 inches of rain. And that's just right there. That's just west of New Orleans. This thing can go about anywhere, though. Let's look at a different one here. And you can see they're showing a hurricane right where my red dot is. That's right before it goes on shore. 7 a.m. Saturday. Same thing I showed you on the models a little bit ago. And you can see how far that cone comes up. That's the 5-day. And they still got it as a depression when it gets up there by Illinois. Again, that low pressure, the center of it is about right there. When I turn the satellite off, you can see how the storms are starting to circle that low. Yeah, there is some thunderstorms down there in Kentucky. I got a radar up for that. This is my local area. Yeah, I've been doing so much talking. I'm having a problem with my throat. Of course, I did this 2 years ago. But I've been keeping a bunch of people updated. And the neighbors have people that they know down in there. So I've been talking to them every day. The people who bring my meals, they've been asking me for updates. They know I'm the local weather guy. I'm starting to get pretty popular right here with my neighbors. I haven't even got on our public channel because I know I get on there and we'll start getting a bunch of questions. And I'll be hoarse before I get a chance to even help the chasers. Stand by for just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Checking a few settings. Thanks, Maureen. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit fancier. Trying to get it more professional. That's my new background. Hey, Tazir. Thanks for joining me. Anybody got any questions? The next advisory uh, will be 4 o'clock Central. So I got about another hour and 15 minutes. Or take that back. Yeah, hour and 15 minutes. How does it feel to have a storm named after me? It feels horrible. At least, so far, my name won't get retired because it's not going to be strong enough. But as ugly as that thing, whoops, is that looks right there? Oh, oh Lord! Like I say, it's a week old fart, just like me. That thing is ugly. Again, that low pressure center, little graphic move up here, about right there. I just made that little low symbol right before I went live. Here's a bigger look at it. Little 3D look to it. Been kind of busy playing around with stuff. I couldn't sleep this morning, so I got up and started working on settings. Yeah, that's a habit that I can't break. I quit smoking once for 8 years, and my stepbrother got me smoking cigars. I finally got away from those. That's a story for another time. Yes, I will, Tazir. Um, Most likely, I'll, depending on the time of day, but most likely I'll be helping Nathan, Jen, and Kyle Bauer. Yeah, I got COPD too. When I quit was back in the early '90s, um, when my kids were little, and I had a lot of support from them. But now I don't have little kids around to talk me out of it, so I keep smoking. Yeah, I checked the beacons last night. Yeah, they did, Big D. I knew it was coming. They named this bugger after me. Doggone it. I was hoping it'd stay so weak they wouldn't use my name. And that way, maybe I could get a new name. I mean, a new storm. Excuse me. Which, let me switch here. I was showing this earlier. And I'll zoom in. You see this yellow X just west of Africa? Right now, that's a 10%er. Got a 10% chance of forming. So that possibly could be our first real Atlantic storm. We did have, I think it was Andrea earlier this year. She was weak. Never did anything. Stayed out in the Atlantic. Hey, let's take a look at this thing. Probably just a tropical wave. That's her right there. Look at her in infrared. Yeah, this one's actually looking better than my storm. You can see that most likely the low. Oops. Kind of looks like the low might be right there. As you can see, it's starting to get storms all the way around that center. This is Barry in the infrared with radar on. We turn radar off. Yeah, if it stays south of the wind shear, that 10%er has a chance. Ooh, I got a tornado warning here in Ohio. I got to take a look at this. Where is it at? Oh, it's way up here. That'd be southeast of Cleveland. Doggone it. We had a chance of thunderstorms today. Hey, thanks for the new follow. But everything's either south or northeast. Yesterday we had a freak little rain shower, and it just made it so darn muggy. Yeah, I like Cleveland. But I wish that Torworm was down here. So just to do a recap, click on Barry here and look at the forecast cone. There's the forecast cone. It covers pretty much probably 90% of southern Louisiana. And the center can go anywhere in that cone. But even if that black line's close to Lafayette, but this thing most likely will be really wide. In Gulfport, Mississippi will be affected by it if this thing gets pretty wide. And remember, like I said, the northeast quadrant, let's say even if the storm is here when it makes hurricane, this northeast quadrant, I can't draw very good with a mouse anyway. That northeast quadrant, that's where the strongest winds surge. So even if it's way over here west of New Orleans, that storm surge coming up this way, I mean, that's all going to go in the bay, and they're really going to get nailed. It is forecasted to be a Cat 1, or a strong one, as it makes landfall. 92 mile an hour on the winds. 96 is beginning of Cat 2. So has anybody got any questions? No questions? Oh, that just all depends. Forward motion. Naturally, once it gets over land, it's going to lose its fuel. Those warm waters, that's the fuel. And so once they go over the land, they won't have any more fuel. So it'll start dying out, which, if you look here, that white dot's got a 1. That's Cat 1. The red dot just north of it drops it down to tropical storm, below 74 mile per hour. So it's going to die pretty quick. They actually had a lot of rain when this thing was back over here, came out of Georgia and Tallahassee. The western side of it, which you can see here, still got some thunderstorms here on the western end of it. That was right over New Orleans. They got 6.1 inches of rain in 1 hour. 6.1 in 1 hour. And they had rain before that. Plus, they're at the mouth of the Mississippi River. That's on the south side of New Orleans. So, with all the rain this spring, way up north, the whole Mississippi River is real high on the flood gauges. So they're dealing with that. And then you get this thing coming in. And if it stays on its current projected track, New Orleans is going to be on the northeast quadrant which is where the heavier winds pushing the storm surge into the mouth of the Mississippi. So that's going to make flooding. And this thing's projected to be more of a flooding threat. But they've already gotten a ton of rain already from this thing from 2 days ago. They even had a tornado and a water spout the other day. So that's why they're talking New Orleans, Baton Rouge, that whole area there, which is right on that Mississippi. They're going to get major flooding. Yes, sir. And Lake Pontchartrain, uh, it's at a high stage as well. Lake Pontchartrain is on the north side, and the Mississippi's on the south side, and New Orleans sits below sea level. And something I found out earlier today, New Orleans is sinking. It's actually sinking, and they're already below sea level. Oh, you're welcome, Maureen. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. It's 3 o'clock. I got some things I need to do. I will be back at a little bit after 8 Eastern Time with the latest information. So if you like what you see and would like for me to keep coming to you, please donate. There it is in my chat, streamlabs.com/bgraywx. Or you can do a subscription, either Amazon or Twitch. Or you can just donate bits. It all helps me, man. It helps me keep coming to you. And as you can tell, I'm doing a lot of this more and more and more. And with the new TV channel, and I'm the main producer, so I'm going to be streaming a lot. But if you can, I would greatly appreciate sending what you can. Bits, subs, for people here on Twitch. Or direct donation to streamlabs.com/bgraywx. Thanks, Big D. Yeah, I do this, and I'm on disability too. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. Greatly appreciate it. And we'll catch you probably about 10 after 8 Eastern, maybe quarter after, once I get all the next updates and advisories. So until then, we'll catch you on the next broadcast.